I'm looking out at many of you. Some of you are my students at Robbins Hebrew Academy. Many of you are beloved congregants, family, friends. And I think about how my mission is in this work that I get to do, to bring people closer to themselves, to Torah, and to each other. I imagine that it's actually every rabbi's mission to do the holy work of drawing people closer to Torah. Growing up, I had no observant female role models. Torah, in any serious intellectual or spiritual way, did not belong to me. It belonged to some man in a black hat and payas in the back of a yeshiva. It was distant and far away and inaccessible. About a decade ago, I felt an unshakable pull toward the rabbinate, driven by the belief that Torah should belong to everyone. That every Jewish person, no matter their background, should know that Torah is very near to them, not far away at all. That each of us has the right and the ability to come close to it. As my JTS ordination approaches, my classmates and I were asked this week to choose one piece of Torah that we felt encapsulates our rabbinic vision. For me, the choice was immediate. A teaching from Pirkei Avot that we say every morning at the beginning of Shacharit. Havei mitalmidav shel Aharon, ohev shalom verodef shalom, ohev et habriot umekorvan la Torah. Be like the students of Aaron. Love peace and pursue peace. Love humanity and draw them close to Torah. The word likarev, to draw close, appears again and again in this new sefer of our Torah that we begin to read this week, Vayikra, Leviticus. Parshat Vayikra introduces, as Joey mentioned, this word korbanot, the sacrificial offerings brought to the Mishkan and later to the Beit HaMikdash, the temple. The word korban sounds an awful lot like karov, to draw near. In ancient times, korbanot were not merely offerings of atonement or obligation, they were opportunities for deep connection, as Joey taught us earlier. Connection to God, to community, to oneself. And today, without a Beit Mikdash, we don't offer our sacrifices to God, but we seek nearness. We seek nearness. We turn to this space, to our Batei Knesset, our houses of gathering, our synagogues, for meaningful connection. Here we study Torah in chavruta. We talk to God in prayer, even when it's hard. And we build relationships with kehilah that sustain and uplift us. Every day, 3 times a day, we offer words to God instead of sacrifices on an altar. And so why during our morning tefillah do we specifically aspire to be like Aharon, like Aaron, the first Kohen Gadol, the high priest, whose connection to korbanot, drawing close to God through offerings, through sacrifices, was clear when the temple stood, but feels a little bit less like an obvious dugma, an obvious example for us today in a post-temple world. It's no accident, I think, that Aaron is central to this teaching that I mentioned from Pirkei Avot, and that we remind ourselves to be like him every morning when we start our prayer. Aaron's job as Kohen Gadol was not to perform sacrifices for Bnei Israel, but to enable each person to bring their own offering, to draw near to God, to Judaism, to Torah, to community on their own terms. Love peace and seek peace. Peace, shalom, sounds like the word shlemim, the sacrifice, the korban that was brought not out of obligation, but out of a simple desire to draw near. Maybe it wasn't only peace that Aaron sought, making him admirable and worthy of mention in our daily tefillah, but maybe it was also his sense that each individual needed the opportunity to be shalem, to bring their whole selves with them to their Jewish practice, to come close to Torah in a way that resonated uniquely with them. We got to witness that, Joey, this morning when you shared words of Torah with us, not in someone else's context, right? Not about someone else's hobbies or interests, about what inspires and interests you. Hockey, right? Sports, your friends, your family. You made Torah near to you because you brought your full self into Torah. And so maybe Aaron was ohevet habriotu mekorvan leTorah. Maybe Aaron loved humanity and brought people close to Torah because he empowered every person to approach Judaism in their own way. Not by drawing them near to Torah as some authoritative figure bestowing wisdom from above, but by giving everyone the tools to bring their own korbanot, to see themselves in Jewish practice, to draw near to Torah on their own terms. When I first approached the rabbinate, I thought that bringing people closer to Torah would help make Torah accessible to more people. What I didn't realize, but what I am learning very quickly now from all of my students, is that in order to feel like Torah is actually ours, we have to claim it. We have to teach it. We have to stand up here as B'nai Mitzvah and share Torah in our own words, through the lens of our own experiences. I see it all the time in my Intro to Judaism class, the conversion class that I teach for the Rabbinical Assembly of Ontario. My students ask, Rabbi Lara, when will I finally feel Jewish? And it's a good question. I turn it back to them. I say, well, when have been the moments when you felt most Jewish? For many of them, it's when they are sharing something they learned with family and friends. Every week at the end of class, I ask one of my students to prepare a short drasha advar Torah about that week's parsha. Many of them, it's their first time opening a chumash, learning for themselves, and preparing an idea to share with the class about Torah. And for many of them, that's the first time they feel Jewish, when they have a chance to teach, when they have a chance to create. My mission remains the same. I strive to bring people closer to Torah. But one thing I learned is that this work is certainly not mine alone. True closeness actually cannot be given. It has to be chosen. I can be a guide. I hope I'm a guide, a support, but ultimately, the journey is each of yours. Hear that, grade 7 students in the back? The journey is yours, and Torah is yours. May we all walk in the footsteps of Aaron, being like Aharon HaKohen, reminding ourselves and those around us that Torah is not far away. It's not distant. It's actually right here. And it's waiting for us to choose to be mikarev, to come close. Shabbat Shalom.